gone ahead and created our SVG file, it's time then to go ahead and start working on making a nice 3D file, like so that we can send our ornament to the printer. Now, to do that, we're going to need to create an account on the website called TinkerCAD, TinkerCAD.com. TinkerCAD. You should sign in with your school Google, and then you'll get there. When you first get to TinkerCAD, you have a place where you can go in and create designs. Looks like somebody's been making ornaments. Alright, so I'm going to go to Designs, and I'm going to say New 3D Design. That's where I get to import this SVG we've been working so hard on. Once I get into TinkerCAD, we probably want to rename this thing because it gives it a default name like Amazing Bruticus Kazi. Mine's going to be named, I don't know, Mr. Cameron Ornament. That's probably what this is, so that's what it's going to be of. I'm going to go in and I'm going to import my 3D files. I can choose a file and I can go down and find my self-portrait Christmas ornament we just exported there and say open. Now, before you just go press import, you need to specify the dimensions. If you followed my newest directions and said 75 millimeters, you're going to say 75 by 75, and then you're going to click import. If you did it at 3.5 inches, that's 89 by 89 you're going to want. So I'm going to just go ahead and import that. So once we finish the import process, you'll be able to see how we then give this thing some height. It just takes a second, especially if your drawing is a little bit complicated. You're just going to go to create a new 3D design and then import your SVG. Okay, not too bad. Right, that looks more or less like what I drew on the paper. I can be happy with that. The only thing I want to do though is click on this shape. You'll notice that if we go to a side view, that's one chunky boy. We need to make sure this thing is not so thick. We need to go down and knock this thickness down to 3. We're not using all the plastic in the world. Save the fishes, I guess. You might even go down to 2. But don't go any thinner than that, because then you're going to end up with something that looks bad. Let's say 3 to be safe. If you go to the top and you're not satisfied with how round some of this stuff is, you might also increase the quality, but note that if you do that, you're going to increase your print time. So, I don't know. If I were you, just leave that quality alone. It's probably good enough. Once you've got this whole thing configured how you want, I mean, of course, you might see what it looks like in the color plastic we're using to give yourself a sense of what this thing is going to look like. You can go ahead and export this, and the file format we want is an STL file. An STL file. You're going to want to change your dimension there to 89 by 89. It will automatically change after you change the 89 by 89.
Hey, quick question. So my furniture should